until lessons begin, children.
What should we do, Mr. Konstantinovich?
Hey, leave her alone. Leave him alone.
What the hell is that? Holy, I just saw it in the mirror.
Weave throughout your days as you are entwined with this rope.
Please, remember me and remember what happened here. Goodbye, Nicholas, and thanks.
Episode 3. The third episode of In Fear I Trust takes the improvements made in the second episode and capitalizes on them as much as possible. You see an increased playtime and an increased difficulty in puzzles, but it also has its issues, just like anything else. Let's take a look at what they are.
Can I help you with something?
Good afternoon. I'm here for the interview.
Oh, yes, the interview. What's your name?
After the standard introductory exploration that the previous episodes have accustomed you to, you quickly find yourself with the first 2 or 3 puzzles that need solving to advance. They are fairly simple to work out and don't need much of an explanation, hence the fact that there isn't one. The problem with that, however, is that this persists throughout the whole episode. The first puzzles aren't explained, then the next set aren't, and then the next. And it gets to a point where unless you've been paying eagle-eye attention to everything, including the notes you find, it just turns into guesswork. The story is also starting to kind of turn into a mess, right as it started getting interesting. A character who seemed very important in episode 2 is once again non-existent. It seems like each episode has a totally separate story, which technically could be a good thing if that's what the devs are going for, but at the moment it's honestly a confusing mess. This isn't to say that it's uninteresting or bad, it's just very hard to follow at this point. On a more positive note, this episode has a real scare factor to it. It doesn't feel cheap or forced, but genuinely creepy. Again, there aren't really any jump scares to speak of. There is one moment that caught us off guard, but it probably wouldn't be considered a jump scare. It's just the pure atmosphere and the fear of unknown that gets to you. For the most part, the atmosphere is extremely well done. The feeling of the place you're exploring is very uneasy, which is exactly what these sort of games are trying to achieve. The graphics also seem to look like they've been ramped up a bit. When taking a closer look, everything does indeed look the same, but the episode as a whole genuinely looks a lot better than the previous. It's all the minor touches that really bring it to life. Just the extra barrel here or the note over there. And assuming this is about what the mobile version looks like, it is quite an impressive display. The third episode of In Fear I Trust has made some notable improvements to almost everything in it, but the unexplained puzzles and lack of a cohesive story really drags it down. It's sad to see 1 or 2 of the negatives nearly outweigh such great positives. Let's just hope that it gets better in episode 4.
Hey! The crane! Get out of the way! Above you, the container! Look out!